And now, in what has accidentally turned out to be a mostly Suzuki show, we stay in Mpumalanga and turn our attention to the fabled town of Hazyview. More so, the equally fabled Numbi Hotel, where we are here for the 13th annual Suzuki Weekend Away that saw a record turnout with people from all over the country in attendance. As the name suggests, it's a weekend away hosted by Suzuki. Everyone is invited, although most people were on Suzukis, including dealers who brought whole crowds of customers. These customers came on a range of bikes, and again, anyone on any brand was welcome, but it was mostly Suzukis, and some good ones too. As is traditional, there was an opening dinner under the Hazyview sky that was thankfully warm for the middle of winter. During the dinner, instructions were given on how the weekend would work, especially the much anticipated treasure hunt put together for this Saturday. And Suzuki Motorcycles boss man, Stuart Baker, gave one of his usual jovial speeches.
We have a really big crowd and I need you all to be safe. This is our 13th running. Unfortunately, we started in 2010, but we missed that year in between where we all had to wear face masks and things. So our 13th running, and up until today, we were doing really well with people falling off of motorbikes. And today, 2 have managed to throw at the scenery. That is the last 2 for the weekend. Can you hear me? Yes. If you feel like falling off, stay in bed. All right, please guys, take it easy. This is not a race. What is it?
It's a race.
Not a race. Don't listen to the press, they're all idiots.
He's not entirely wrong. And that leads us neatly onto the next day, which was the treasure hunt. Usually these sorts of things are a touch cringy, but this was something special. Participants grouped themselves into teams, with one member of each team being named captain and had to download a special app on their phone. And it was this app that gave instructions, locations, and where answers, photos, and all sorts of things were uploaded. It was brilliantly done, and started in Numbi itself, where the first challenge was to take an angry pic. Obviously, some people just naturally look angry. The challenges were designed solely for entertainment value, and the angry pic was followed by finding a little Suzuki statue and take a photo with it. Obviously, bikers are mature adults who would never let their photos descend into juvenile acts of delinquency. They also wouldn't go into ponds in their underwear when the challenge clearly says only bare feet need be submerged. But bikers are committed. Eventually, the app led the groups out of Numbi and into the sinuous wilderness that is Mpumalanga, because the Suzuki weekend needs good riding. However, not far out, we were directed to a garage. And the challenges continued, with things like finding a map and pointing to where we were, finding some safes, and a whole lot of general light-hearted disruptions of the garage. There were good people there too, including the ever-fruity Bill Hunter.
Last year...
Hang on, let me get my hair right.
Okay. So take us through last year, and obviously this year, do you expect a different outcome and result?
I have no idea because I can't remember what happened for the past year.
I don't know, someone's bike didn't
No,
work?
something happened last year. Oh, yeah, I had a flat tyre. It wasn't my fault, it was Suzuki's weird front end, and I pulled through, but due to muscular body strength, I managed to hang on to it and muscled it from 380 to 0 in 1.4 seconds. Yeah.
And this year, how's it looking so far?
Well, I've only just come 20 Ks, so I don't know. What sort of question's that?
The app led us to new and wonderful places, including a spot where we were told to imitate bush butts. Some of us took it very literally. The halfway stop was at the famous waterfall in Sabi, where just about everyone gathered again in the parking lot. Lunch was served under a tent, but it was soon back to the challenges. Some included a game where we had to arrange items while being pressured by a timer, taking a photo of a cool tattoo, and then we moved across the water feature, where it was time for some clay pigeon shooting. To avoid messy accidents and police interference, the guns were electronic and scores are measured digitally. All was going well, except for a fellow who accidentally fell into the pond. The biggest tragedy is that it's still winter, and he had to ride back to Sabi like that. Ouch. We eventually moved on to more excellent riding, and a trip up to God's Window, where we had to count the number of letter S's on a warning sign that we probably should have been reading. The next challenge was doing something acrobatic on your motorcycle, and people tried jumping, they tried doing daring poses, but in this world, nothing beats a Tyrannosaurus Rex on a motorbike. It was a day of adventure, exploration, good riding, but mostly great socializing, before eventually descending back to Numbi, where there was one last challenge: hungry hippos. That evening, the crowd gathered in the ballroom, where the host for the evening got on with even more entertainment, including a Suzuki general knowledge pub quiz. Now obviously the person who would win this has to be a properly nerdish loser, and indeed he was. The winners of the treasure hunt were also announced, with Team JMB Suzuki taking the ultimate laurels. And so concludes the 13th annual Suzuki Weekend Away. Every year it gets bigger and better, but don't take my word for it.
I think there's too many words actually I want to describe how today was.
Just awesome.
For me it was more like family. I think that was the greatest experience, how everybody that has a bike is just so supportive, understanding, helpful. Obviously so much fun, but for me the big take home is that this is really a family event. I had so much fun.
I agree.
Brilliant, awesome. The route that they planned was excellent. The games was out of this world. We all had so much fun, and I will definitely recommend it. Next year I'm back.
This is my 6th Numbi Suzuki Weekend Away. Every year it gets better. It was awesome, and we had lots of fun, and it's very enjoyable, and you meet people that you've never seen before, and then you love each other.